Okay, because the time is shows at 1 o'clock, so let's get started. All right. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to webinar EDSA series 2020. This is webinar forum with the topic encouraging university students to read extensively. Well, how's your quarantine? Hope you deal with your quarantine and hopefully God bless you always. So firstly, I would like to thank you to all of the gorgeous presenters, and of course, I would like to say thank you to all of the participants who gathered in this webinar. All right, everyone. And now I would like to introduce myself. My name is Anita Octavia, and I am as moderator in this webinar forum. And for the second, I would like to show you the gorgeous presenters, and there are Dede Gina. Hello, Dede Gina. And Amalia Fitriani. Hello, Amalia. Rani Zahroh. And the next presenter is Afifah Fauziah. And Dea Amanda. And for the last presenters is Derma Rahimanisa. Okay, before we go to the main session, I would like to inform the rules of this webinar forum. So this is a oral presentation only, so no written materials would be delivered, and I suggest you to take notes, okay? And this is webinar is full English forum, so all activities will be delivered by English. And all participants must turn off the camera and audio during the presentation. And the presentation will be held about 5 minutes for each presenter. All the presenters will present the material in turn. And for the Q&A session, will come after the whole presentation. And you may asking questions since the presentation is started. And you should type your questions in chat box. And the question must be delivered directly to what topic you want to ask, and who the presenter you want to ask. Okay. And the last rules is please be careful in dragging the presenter's icon to your full screen in case you accidentally mute or kick them out. Okay. I think my explanation is clearly. So let's move to the main session of this webinar. Okay. Before the presentation are started, let us recite Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, the first presenter is Dede Gina. Will talk about from intensive reading to extensive reading. And for Dede Gina, please.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. I'm Dede Gina Jakiah. And how are you doing? I hope you are doing fine. Thank you for joining with us. It's so honor for me to speak in front of you, all the great participants. And good people, today I'm gonna talk about intensive to extensive reading. So I'm gonna share with you what is intensive reading, what is extensive reading, and why we need extensive reading. Well, as we know, reading is an important activity for people, especially for English education students, in every aspect in our life in academic atmosphere involves it. And it will become more important in today's world, which the development in every life aspect come very quickly. Yeah. By the way, to understand all type of information in the full text, we need reading ability or activity to understand the content or the main point of the text. Yeah, right? Yeah, because without the ability to understand it, the student are not able to catch or comprehension a lot of information easily, quickly, and of course accurately. Apart the importance of reading throughout the country, many English learners are struggle with their issue of the skill need comprehension English text. Mostly they still has low ability in comprehending English text. And actually, intensive reading activities are needed to train our reading skills. Then, even it is not possible to claim that only intensive reading is enough for most ESL or EFL students to learn to read English. But good people, intensive reading activity is using suitable text and follow useful principles. And it can be a very useful strategies as long as it is only a part of reading. To do so, it should be complemented by other language-focused learning and extensive reading activity for language and fluency development. Yeah. Additionally, Nation in 2009 indicates that intensive reading focus on comprehension of a particular text and is useful when reading other texts later on. So, one goal of intensive reading activity may be comprehension the text, but they also need a lot of exposure to have reading competence. As Nurul in 1983 said that one of the best ways to improve the knowledge of original language is to read it extensively. Because extensive reading is an important activity for students to provide exposures in order to improve their understanding of the text. Thus, the way to help us have reading comprehension ability, we should have both intensive and extensive reading activity, which is extensive reading activity alone is not good enough for developing reading skill, that intensive reading activity is also needed. Therefore, intensive and extensive reading activity should go together to help students or readers comprehend the text. Then, Brown in 2001 showed that extensive reading is carried out to achieve a general understanding of usually somewhat longer the text, such as the book, long article, and of course essay. Moreover, Harmer in 2001 and in 2002 suggests that extensive reading is an activity that can be applied by teachers to encourage students to choose what they read and to the software pleasure and of course general language improvement. Therefore, extensive reading is the activity of reading a lot of materials for enjoyment, information, and language improvement. So everyone, read as much as you can, with extensive as you can, and catch the word. I'm Dede Jakiah. Thank you for the nice attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And thank you for the Gina. It's amazing presentation. And the next presentation is talk about why is extensive reading beneficial by Amalia Fitriani. So Amalia Fitriani, please.
Thank you, Anita. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for your joining. I'm Amalia Fitriani, and my topic is why extensive reading beneficial. I will divide it into two sections. First section is what is extensive reading, and the second section is why extensive reading beneficial. First, I want to ask you, do you like reading a book? Why? Why not? Have you ever heard about extensive reading before? And what is that? Well, I will tell you about extensive reading. Extensive reading means reading for pleasure. As Siti Fatimah, a lecturer from Siliwangi University, states in her article research that extensive reading is the activities of reading a large amount of the text and enjoyable input in order to get information by using an interesting way. In the same line, Bamford and Day, an expert of extensive reading, said that extensive reading is the process of reading that the purpose is to get overall understanding of the text. So, why is extensive reading beneficial? Because as we know that almost of our interest, so with extensive reading can enhance students' reading interest. Thomas Robb, a professor in Kyoto Sangyo University, has proved that it plays and so on because reading opens the world for us. And glass, we will have something to talk about with other people. So we will not confuse to find out a topic to talk with others. In conclusion, extensive reading is recommended for the beginner learners to improve their skills, especially in reading. Thanks for your participation. I'm Amalia Fitriani. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Amalia, for your explanation. And for the next presenters is Rani Zahroh, who will deliver material about reading strategies to skimming and scanning. So Rani Zahroh, time is yours.
Hi everyone. Let's move on the next topic with me, Rani Zahroh J, and my topic is about reading strategies. Honestly, so many types of reading strategies such as regular reading, active reading, reading comprehension, skimming, and scanning. But in this opportunity, I would like to share you about skimming and scanning. Well, I would like to divide my learning material about skimming into 4 sessions. The first, what is skimming? The second, why do we skim? The third, when do we skim? And the fourth, how do we skim? Alright, skimming is one of reading strategies that can help us to find the main idea of the text, or you want to read long text but you don't have much time, or you want to pick up the newspaper or to go news online but you want to look at the headline. And Grilles in 1981 said that skimming is going through the reading quickly to find out how it is organized to get idea of the intention of the writer. In the next section, why do we skim? To read, understand, and faster. And the second, to get the main idea fast in reading long text. And the third, to skim the article for research. And the fourth, to get the general idea of a text, and it will give you the main points from the text. And the fifth, to make us focus what's most important for us and we can take and apply it. And the sixth, to help our scores in IELTS and TOEFL. And the seventh, to help our finding in the right session and we can answer the question. And the third, when do we skim? The first, before we read for details. And the second, when we're taking a test. And the third, when we have a lot of text but we don't have much time. And the fourth, when we want to identify what kind of this topic, what kind of approach in this text, what kinds of uh, the topic from the text. And the fourth is how do we skim? The first, read the title from the text because the title is the first information you get from the whole text. And the second is read the first each paragraph. And the third is read the last each paragraph. And the fourth is read the subheading if it is exists. And the sixth is read the bold words such as like this. And the seventh is underline the keyword such as the most, the place, and the percent. And the second part of reading strategies is about scanning. Scanning is another reading strategist and it will can help you to find the specific words such as names, places, dates, number, or etc. And Maxwell in 1970 stated that scanning is the ability to locate specific facts and details quickly. Skimming and scanning is regarded as desirable reading skill, and it is taught in most developmental reading courses because it helps students to get information easily in efficient way. And maybe some of you wonder how to get the specific words. All right, I would like to share some tips about how to achieve the specific words. The first, understand the question before understand the text. The second, always keep in mind what you are looking for. The third, run your eyes through the text, then keep your specific words you need. And the fourth is ignore the phrase or the words don't understand it well. And fifth is look for the words that in the bold, in different style, italic, or different colors. But the most important from both strategies is how you apply by practicing. Because by practicing, you can know your progress. Thank you for your nice attention.
Okay, thank you, Rani Zahroh. That's an amazing presentation. And for the next presenter, and topic is about how to speed read by Afifah Fauziah. So, Afifah Fauziah, it's your time.
Thank you so much, Anita. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, everyone. My name is Afifah Fauziah. And here I'll explain the next topic, which is how to speed read. Have you ever faced a situation where you have to read extensively a lot of text like journals, articles, or books, and so on, but you have no much time to do it? If you have, did you find it difficult? If you did, why? Brown and Hertz, 1985, have stated that the problem is slow reading. Therefore, you need to overcome the problem by increasing your speed read. Once you are able to speed read, you are able to read fast without losing comprehension of the text. As Jim Quick said, that the fastest readers have the best comprehension because they have the best focus. They are focused because their brain are trying so hard to keep up with their reading speed. Slow readers, on the other hand, according to Bell 2001, are more likely to read the text with little understanding as their memory are unable to retain information in sufficiently large chunks to understand the context of the whole text. They are also get easier to get distracted than the fast reader. By reading fast, you can also save your time to reread the text for better comprehension or to do other beneficial activities. Now we come to the main part of the presentation. How do I speed read? Tim Ferriss has explained about how to read 300 faster into 4 simple steps. But before we figure them out, there are some things that you need to prepare. The first one is an English book, which should lay flat on the table when you open it, like this. The second one is a pen, a highlighter, sort of, to help you read faster. And the last is a notebook. This is optional to help you note some important points. Okay, let's begin with the first one. The first you need to do is determine your baseline. Baseline here means your current reading speed rate. To do this, first you need to determine the average word per line, just like this. Can you see it? So you need to count the number of words in 5 lines, then divide it into 5. That's the average word per line. Then to count your reading speed rate, you need to read for 1 minute straight with your normal reading speed, and then you count the number of lines you've read and then multiply it with the average word per line. And that's your reading speed rate or your word per minute rate. Once you get the result, you can move to the next step, which is trackers and pacers. To do this, you can hold your pen like this, and then your text, of course. And then you can use this to help you read faster. You can move it along the line, just like this. Okay? So you can read faster with it. This will not only serve as a tracker, but also a pacer for maintaining consistent speed and decreasing fixation duration. You should read a line no more than 1 second. Okay, so you need to practice them. And once you are able to do this perfectly, you can move to the next step, which is use peripheral vision. What is peripheral vision? Peripheral vision is, like the scope of your eyes, something like this. If I show you my finger like this and I ask you to only focus to my finger, I believe that you can still see the both sides of my finger like this. That's peripheral vision. People normally read from the first until the last word of a line and spend 25 to 50% of their time to read margin with no content. So you can use this peripheral vision to help you increase your reading speed effectively. To do this, you can still do the same like this previous step, which is, like move with your pen along the line, but begin one word in front the first and the last word, just like this. So you cannot start from the first word, but one word after it. This, okay? Once you are able to do it, you can increase it, become 2 words or even 3 words in from the first and the last word. And don't forget, do not decrease the speed. Keep it a line per second. Okay. Once you are able to do those steps above perfectly, it is time for you to determine or to check your new reading speed rate. To do this, you can count it as you count your baseline and then compare it. Compare it with your baseline. Evaluate them. Are you making any improvements or not? All right, everyone, I've already told you 4 simple steps how to read fast. And it is time for you to practice them and get the benefits. But before you do that, I have some notes to be concerned about. The first thing is, do not worry about comprehension. You might get lesson comprehension as you read. I mean, in the process, you speed read, but trust me, your comprehension will improve as you progress. The second one is don't subvocalize. Subvocalization is you are pronouncing and hearing the word you are reading in your mind. Don't ever do this, or your reading speed will be the same as your speaking speed, which is quite slow if you ask me. And the third is, of course, practice, 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 because practice makes perfect, and the more you train yourself, the more natural it will feel. All right, I would like to close the presentation with a quote from Elizabeth Hardwick: "The greatest gift is the passion for reading." Thank you so much for watching. Keep on reading books. I'm Afifah Fauziah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. That's an excellent presentation, Afifah. Thank you. And for the next presenter is Dea Amanda. and she's going to share about easy way to read. So, Dea Amanda, it's your time.
Good afternoon. Hello, good people. Let's move to the next topic. I will share to you about easy way to reading and how to read when you hate reading. First of all, I will share to you what is extensive reading. Extensive reading is an approach to second language reading. When learners read extensively, they read very easy, enjoyable books to build their reading speed and fluency. Another way to say this is students learn to read by actually reading rather than examining text by studying the vocabulary, grammar, and phrases. It is instructive to compare intensive reading with extensive reading. Main goal of extensive reading is to read for the pleasure, reading as much as you can, and reading to get information, but also in terms of language learning to get exposed to as much as language as you can. This is how to read extensively. First, find a good position. Position of a body is important. You should not be sitting like you do with intensive reading, but you should be relaxed. Laying on the bed is important thing. You find a position the body in which you feel relaxed, you feel comfortable. And next, enjoy the text to enjoy anything and without having to look up every single word, so that you can actually enjoy once again extensive reading. It's made for the pleasure of reading. Next, you could just pick the book that you are interested in. Example, when you like football, let's find a book about football. Then you will read and more because you interest to that topic or book, and then choose easy books, short and easy word. For the next is you didn't have to use dictionary, just read and relax. If you want to know the meaning, just highlight the text. Then, after you finish read your book, you can find what is that means. The last is we have to read every day because we will remember even we didn't study about that. Next, this is steps how to read books when you hate reading. Although reading is an activity most people do on a daily basis, some people do not enjoy it. If you don't enjoy reading, don't feel bad. You aren't alone. In fact, the number of people who don't read books has tripled since 1978. Perhaps you were forced to read boring texts, work, or school, or maybe you just haven't found a particular genre you like. You may find that exploring a few genres helps you find a type book you love. First, choose reading material that you will enjoy. Choose any type of reading material you like which can help encourage you to read. And the second, remember that you won't be text. Some people have learned to hate reading because in school they had to read just to pass tests and they never made an emotional connection to the material. And the third, join a book club. Joining a book club can be a fun and social way to enjoy different kind of reading with friends or family members. And the fourth, listen to audiobooks. If you truly don't like reading, listen to audiobooks. Audiobooks may help you enjoy books without actually having to do any physical reading. Take your time if you are reading for enjoyment. There is no pressure to read quickly. Take your time while reading a text to help ensure that you can truly enjoy whatever you've chosen to read. Read at relaxing time. Don't read when you feel stressed or at time when you are in a hurry. Reading at time you are relaxed can help your brain associate with pleasure instead of as a chore. Realize that reading are so many benefits. It can improve your vocabulary, reading and writing ability, speaking and listening skill. The tip.
Dea Amanda, sorry I can't hear your voice. Dea Amanda.
Oh, wait. Wait. I will repeat. Sorry.
Okay, please.
Sorry. Hello. Good afternoon, good people. Let's move to the next topic. I will share to you about easy way to reading and how to read when you hate reading. First of all, I will share to you what is extensive reading. Extensive reading is an approach to second language reading. When learners read extensively, they read very easy, enjoyable books to build their reading speed and fluency. Another way to say this is students learn to read by actually reading rather than examining text by studying the vocabulary, grammar, and cases. It is instructive to compare intensive reading with extensive reading. Main goal of extensive reading is to read for the pleasure reading as much as you can, and reading to get information, but also in terms of language learning to get exposed to as much language as you can. This is how to read extensively. First, find a good position. Position of a body is important. You should not be sitting like you do with intensive reading, but you should be relaxed. Laying on bed, important thing is you find a position of the body in which you feel relaxed, you feel comfortable. Next, enjoy the text to enjoy anything and without having to look up every single word so that you can actually enjoy once again. Extensive reading is made for the pleasure of reading. Next, you could choose pick that book that you are interested in. Example, when you like football, let's find a book about football. Then you will more read and read more because you interest to that topic or book. And then choose easy book, short and easy word. For the next is you didn't have to use dictionary. Just read and relax. If you want to know the meaning, just highlight the text. Then after you finish your book, you can find what it is that mean. For the last is we had to read every day because we will remember even we didn't study about that. Next, this is tips how to read books when you hate reading. Also, reading is an activity most people do on a daily basis. Some people do not enjoy it. If you don't enjoy reading, don't feel bad. You are on. In fact, the number of people who don't read books has tripled since 1978. Perhaps you were forced to read boring text for work or school. Or maybe you just haven't found a particular genre you like. You may find that exploring a few genres help you find a type of book you love. First, choose reading material that you will enjoy. Choose any type of reading material you like which can help encourage you to read. Second, remember that you won't be tested. Some people have learned to hate reading because in school they hate to read just to pass test and they never made an emotional connection to the material. Third, join a book club. Joining a book club can be a fun and social way to enjoy different kind of reading with friend or family member. Fourth, listen to audiobooks. If you truly don't like reading, listen to audiobooks. Audiobooks may help you enjoy books without actually having to do any physical reading. Take your time if you are reading for enjoyment. There is no pressure to read quickly. Take your time while reading a text to help ensure that you can truly enjoy whatever you have chosen to read. Read at relaxing time. Don't read when you feel stressed or at time when you are in hungry. Reading at time you are relaxed can help your brain associate with pleasure instead of as a chore. Realize that reading are so many benefits. It can improve your vocabulary, reading and writing ability, speaking and listening skill. The tips how easy to read extensively and how to read when you hate reading. I am Dea Amanda. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dea, for your suggestion. It's so beneficial for us. And for the last presenter, we'll talk about relaxing by reading by Derma Rahimanisa. So Derma, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. So thank you so much for still here with me, the last presenter. I'm Derma Rahimanisa, and I would like to share you the topic about relaxing by reading. Rest or relax is an absolute basic requirement that must be met by everyone, right? Rest, or we can call rest reflection, has different needs for each individual. Uh, the goal is that the body can function again optimally. Some after work go for a walk, hanging out, chatting with friends, then go to cafe, even watching a movie. Then some are sleeping, but are such breaks active? The answer could be yes. However, it will be more effective uh, during the time, during the break that is used as well as possible. Sometimes we don't realize that taking a break, like going for a walk, taking out, or chatting, will actually drain a lot of energy. And in the end, we feel tired also. Likewise, with conversation of chatting in a cafe or at rest area, it can even lead to radio, which even about other people, or we can gossip. Learn how to make that the rest time effective. Of course, you have to listen to your friends first with positive things, such as relaxing by reading. Why reading? Doesn't reading our need more concentration and then make us sleep, then make uh, need to focus from for the book or reading some books. And then from the statements, we may naturally experience, but you have to look on the right side. Rest or relax by reading of the benefits, such as physically. We rest our minds after a day of activities. Information, we can get out of the world, knowing information, and then the benefits of reading yourself is first, reading is the same as food for brain, and then second is, of course, you can get more information, and third is after reading, reading that can help you training memory skill. When we know something important in our brain from automatic reading, we will remember that, or it gives power to memory. According to Mr. D. President and Research Director at his laboratories to Opera magazine, rather than watching television or hear the radio, reading can provide different training. Whether you understand page by page or just read the copy maker's manual instruction, and then part help practice conversation. When you read some, you will feel like discussing and sharing information with friends, or relatives. Unconsciously, when you try to tell or share information, that is where we are practicing conversation, where we have transfer the word from the reading, then expressing our own words. Then the more you read, the more words you get. It helps you speak and express many things well. So it's very helpful in any profession. And the next, by reading, uh, it can help you sleep better. Who feel difficult in sleep, you can try to do this. When going into bedtime, the effect of it with our eyes don't uh, you are in the habit of playing on your cell phone, or you might want to switch your cell phones or your gadgets to books. To this tools, reading physical books, not out of gadget, can improve the quality uh, or sleep. How come? According to the doctors at the Mayo Clinic, quitting bedtime rituals, uh, such as reading a book, can make the body transition easier uh, from a wakefulness to drowsiness. And then instead of just playing with yourself for you should read a book. Using a cell phone in the bed can reduce sleep duration and reduce sleep quality. Um, or less, try to get used to and take advantage of your rest time with positive activities. Try to take advantage of your free time during lying down or relaxing set by reading. It's like reading journals, reading newspaper, or reading books, articles, etc. According to the research in our country, Indonesia, culture is still very low, very low. We can see in our environment that they interact more with social media, playing gadgets, compare, and hopefully the benefits of those benefits can make us the importance of reading that we can bring more more benefits like reading or advanced reading or speed reading. And then friends that I respect, if we cultivate a filter, will be honest. If we are aware of the benefits that we get used to doing. So the first benefit is not for others, but for ourselves. But if you feel it also important for others, then you should be able to bring useful for others. I'm Derma Rahimanisa. Thank you for attention. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Derma, for your explanation. And thank you for all the presenters who have delivered the material. That was a great explanation. And all right, because the whole presentation is finished, we're gonna move into Q&A session. And before starting the Q&A session, I will remind you that we will accept 2 questions from all the questions. If your question is not selected, we will answer it by email. And if there is an audience of participants who want to ask, please bring up your questions in the chat box. So, is there any questions for all the participants here? Okay, I will give you a time for type your questions in the chat box. Okay, and I will wait it. Okay, there is one question from the participants. And the question is, it's about the target of word. When we do an extensive reading, how many words we need to read? So for the presenters, it's your time to answer the questions from Nur. Please, presenters.
Okay, I will try to answer.
Okay, please.
Okay, your answer is, can someone repeat her question? Please. Wait, I will see by myself. About target of word. When we do an extensive reading, how many words we need to read? As long as I learn about extensive reading, we don't need how many words we read, because when we do extensive reading, we just relax. We just read the book that we are really interested about. Just enjoy reading, enjoy read the text, enjoy read the story, because we very enjoy about that book that we are read about. So just read extensively. When you uh, want to read, don't think about how many words you how many words you must read the text. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dea, for your explanation. I think okay, because time is up, so the Q&A sessions are clear, are closed, and if you still have a question, please write it down, and we will answer and send it by email. So for now, I would like to read the conclusion. Okay. Everyone, in this webinar, we know that intensive reading activities are needed to train the reading skills, but we also need a lot of exposure to have reading competence by extensive reading activity. Then intensive and extensive reading activities should go together to help us to comprehend the text. And extensive reading is very beneficial because it can help the learner.
On your camera.
Oh, okay, sorry. I forget. Okay, extensive reading is very beneficial because it can help the learners to enhance their skills, especially in reading. And for skimming and scanning are useful reading strategies that can help us easily to get the main point and the keywords, specific words in the long text. And for the speed read are determine your baseline or your current reading speed rate. Use a pen as a tracker and space as you read, and use peripheral vision to help you speed read. And the last is determine your new reading speed rate. And realize that reading are so many benefits. It can improve your vocabulary, reading and writing ability, speaking and listening skills. Then try to get used to and take advantage of your rest time with positive activities. Try to take advantage of your free time during lying down or relax yourself by reading. Be it reading articles, books, newspaper, and other useful reading. Okay. All right. So the webinar is end. We say Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Our webinar from today has been finished. So I would like to say thank you to all our presenters today who have already gave the explanation, and that is certainly useful to be applied in our daily life. And of course, I would like to say thank you to all the participants who have listened enthusiastically to our discussion today. And we really appreciate the time that you have to taken to join this webinar. And stay hygiene and stay safe, everyone. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.